Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Tony Davenport with the 2008 Lexus ISF. This is a 190,000 miles, 763 miles update. Basically, the car is running strong, but there are two major updates on the car. One, it's dirty right now. I need to wash it. Did have my son clean up the rims a little bit, but here's the main thing. Earlier in March, I noticed that when I changed my spark plugs, I had oil in the guides, down in the tubes. So my tube seals need to be done. So the valve cover gasket job proved more stressful than what was let on. So one, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advanced, they didn't have both of the valve cover gaskets, so they only have one or the other. So that meant going to the dealer. It also meant when I went to the dealer, when I bought I said, hey, I need the valve cover gaskets. In my mind, because when I bought from AutoZones and all that stuff, I didn't know the dealers sell every single piece separately. So they didn't send the valve cover gaskets as a set. They sent them literally the individual gasket. So I said, hey, look, I need the rest of the seals for this car. So the guy says, hey, look, I don't know if the warehouse will have them. So at this point, it's coming up on Memorial Day, and I have a track day set for the car, and we're 2 weeks out. We're 2 weeks out from the event. So like I'm waiting for parts to come, and a few days go by each time I get the damn parts. So first I get the two valve cover gaskets, then I get some other seals. Turns out that the high pressure fuel pump is on top of our valve cover gaskets. So you got one on each side. Those are $1,400 pieces. So you had to get the fuel system seals for those, which, excuse me, by this point I had a Japanese car mechanic coming to the house to do the job while the engine was cold. He starts the job. He says, no, hey, look, you don't have these fuel system seals. We need those too. And I'm like, do you have to break the seal? All you have to do is leave it attached to the valve cover and lift the valve cover up with it still attached. No, he wanted to insist to take it off, which is fine. So I go back to the dealership again, a third time. Hey, I need these extra seals. So by now I have the full IPB for the system. The job turned out to be in $1,100. So parts were about $550 and labors just under $600. So also the guys who got in there, I finally got a Japanese shop, took it to a shop. Hey, need this done. I'm trying to get this done hastily. So yeah, we can get it done. We'll be ready. You can come get it, Friday afternoon will be ready. So for the coming Monday, they get in there and say, hey, look, your timing chain seals look like they're bad too, so we got to replace those. I'm like, fuck. So, okay, I can't drive the car. Now, I'd already taken my S1000RR to the Mac because he was putting a full exhaust on for me. And he quoted me, yeah, it'll take me about a week. And then it became 2 weeks. So I actually would have had my bike back on Memorial Day to run on the track at AMP, Atlanta Motorsports Park. But he was taking his time with the damn bike. So I didn't have either one of my vehicles for Memorial Weekend. And I went to go rent a 550i, twin turbo V8, and the guy didn't show up. So I'm like, this week can't get any more effed up because this is some bullshit. I was cunt hair closer just going to buy another car. Like I was seriously like, babe, I'm gonna go to the dealership, I'm gonna pick up a 535 or a 335, and I'm gonna just that'll be our extra car in the house. Like that's how frustrating this whole thing was. So yeah, not a good financial decision to make under distress. So obviously I didn't. So the next thing, when I was in March driving to Mississippi, the radio went out. Radio flashed 3 times on me about 3 hours into the drive. So naturally I had to consider getting another radio. This sumbitch here, excuse me, was also another ordeal. So This is from Rhino Radios. It's a Tesla style deck, and basically it has all the features of a laptop and a tablet. So I can connect it to my Wi-Fi and to the phone. So I have to turn on the hotspot on the phone to get that going. I've obviously custom set a few apps already for what I use.
That's been spotted roaming around in Brookhaven.
So now the radio, I have Joker's audio, put it in, Canton Road. They tell me after the fact that this radio cannot interface with the stock Mark McLeeson speakers and amplifier. So I'm like, shit, I gotta get a whole nother setup for amp and speakers. So that being said, I order some Fosgate amps. I'm an old Fosgate guy. High channel, 4-channel amps to run the highs, to run the door speakers, and the sub. Then we get in there and find that the sub's cracked. The material is just rotted away. Some of the door speakers, the cones are cracked. I'm like, okay, I gotta replace speakers. So, so now this is becoming order parts, wait. All the while I still got poor quality sound because the radio just not putting out any amplification to none of the speakers. So I just drive the car quiet. Obviously, vents out, this happened. All of this crackle part happened. And then these fins were broken. So I had to put these damn air fresheners there just to hold them, make them look straight. We got the radio in. So I took it to another shop to, hey, can you do the amps? Because it was closer to my office. Well, this shop on Cobb Parkway wouldn't even touch this radio, because they got their ass kicked by the same radio in the LS460 a few months back. And they ate 2 weeks of time trying to get this thing to do what they needed to do, and they wouldn't touch it. So they called the shop and said, no, we're not doing that. We don't install nothing. We don't sell. Well, I found another guy on Craigslist, happens to be an audio electrician, certified and all this stuff. I vet him out, and he goes to work, and he does an immaculate job on running the cables. We pulled out the stock amp. He interfaced into the current harness, so my door speakers are ran by a Fosgate amp. And then I have an Infinity 12 in the trunk that's run by a Toro mono amp that's 400 RMS amp, so I get a good sound without having the rattling of the trunk and the just the searing bass. Like I'm done with those days. I've had big systems before, 1,000 RMS 12s with power 1,000 watt amps running to each speaker. Like, yeah, now I don't need that anymore. So this deck is a tablet. It is literally just like your laptop. The user friendliness is that you have to figure it out, because they give you something of a manual, but a lot of the instructions aren't explained. A lot of it's not explained in the instructions. Excuse me. So the main thing is, this radio required for me to, go through it like a laptop, connect it to the internet using the hotspot on my phone, and then, set the navigation by choice, set the different, this is literally like a tablet. You just get back.
And it just looked like a wild.
So
others near capital city country.
You can see, so if I go to, let me get home. Here are all the apps, so you can really get back. See that it's just a tablet, and you run the apps on the radio, and that gets you everything you need for functionality. So again, software updates, clearing cache, I can sit here and go Google Chrome. It's connected to the internet of the building right now, so I can go into literally watch full YouTube videos. Like, I got my channel and all of my different channels I set for listening and videos I watch. You can download, there's a video app on here that you can literally watch full-blown movies. I just didn't have it fully wired up because I don't need it. I do have HDMI cable and 2 USB ports. So yeah, everything's run through my phone, or if I connect it to the internet, I can just run it through everything to my phone, just through the Bluetooth connectivity. And so when let me figure myself out here, Bluetooth, then when I go there, everything I run through the phone will show up on the, well, not everything will show up on the screen, but the music and sound and everything else will show up there. If I just connect it to the internet, then I can run YouTube, iHeartRadio, Pandora, go on Google, literally go on my Gmail account, check emails and everything. You want to talk about driver distractions? This damn thing will get you killed. So when you have to do the climate control, you literally have to push each button at a time. You know, you can't press and hold. You have to push it each time. So if you're trying to change my temperature, I got to keep tapping. So I'm looking at it while I'm driving on the highway, making sure I'm tapping the plus or the minus, whatever I'm trying to do. So you know, it's one of those things where, again, you're still going to get driver distracted. You know, again, it's a love-hate relationship with this radio right now. My other one went out. It made me feel like shit. I should have just bought a stock replacement for the expense and the headache and that it created. But now that I'm getting used to it, I got everything figured out, custom to my liking. It's pretty easy and it's very straightforward. So just another piece of technology going on. So that's the big car, the valve cover gasket ordeal, the radio ordeal. So far the diff change in the carbon fiber drive shaft is still holding up. I'm not having any problems. The car still runs exceptionally strong. I just, you know, keeping it running. And, you know, maybe somewhere in the future, years to come, I'll choose to replace this motor with a low mileage motor, then get the RR Racing Supercharged kit. But in the meantime, this is what it is. So if you have any questions about the stuff I do have all the bolt-ons, the same as the intake, the oil catch can, RR Racing ZCU tune, full exhaust header back, Sicky carbon fiber drive shaft, Osgeeken Superlock diff. So and these rims are 18-inch rims, so I took them 19s off, put 20s on just for looks, but then got some 18s to do it. So like, really, the car's been great, and no mechanical issues of me changing things as they came. Brakes, oil, spark plugs, stuff like that. Everything else I modded. There was special considerations for each one, but you know, that's what you're doing. That's what you run into when you mod a car. So let me know if you have any questions, or where I got something, or you know, what my experiences are with some of this damn radio and you know, the valve cover gasket job. Just know that you're going to spend $1,000 when you get it done right.